Going on, everybody? Welcome back to another unboxing video brought to by Bearded Kaiju's Unboxing and Reviews. Man, oh man, it's been absolutely nuts as of late. I am so sorry for the late post on my reviews and everything. I have so much stuff to go over and show you guys. It's absolutely insane, but life has just been beating me down, honestly. So it's been a lot. So I'm trying to get back into it, get a steady schedule, get a steady pace on getting these videos out and everything. So hopefully soon I'll be more steady, and this will be dropping like clockwork. So thank you all for still being here with me, still being fans of the channel and supporting me and all that I do, honestly. So but yeah, let's get right into today's unboxing. This is like this unboxing. It is a way overdue one. It's been a very long time. I know a friend of mine, Samson West, has been waiting for this one, and I just keep jokingly just tell him that it's in the box, it's in the box, it's still in the box, kind of thing. So I need to get it out there. I need to get this on the channel and talk about it because I think it's a very significant figure, and something has happened since this figure has been announced and came out. Other things have happened, and I want to talk about and kind of give my opinions about the situation and everything. So, but with that, without further ado, let's get right into today's unboxing. So here it is. We are going to be talking about the X Plus 2020 Godzilla Shorts Gigan, the new Gigan suit that was made for the Godzilla short Godzilla versus Gigan in 2022 for Godzilla Day, which was absolutely phenomenal short. I absolutely loved it. They did such a great job, and it just shows why Suitmation is still a thing. They can still make it look good, and people are clamoring for it and excited for it because they did such a great job. And I think it got a very big and positive reception, honestly, for it. So I'm glad to get this and finally review it, because I've had it for quite a while. I would say probably 9 months or more, maybe even close to a year. It's been, just like I said, crazy, and it's just stuff's been leapfrogging it, and just been nuts. So just wanted to get to this and get it out there. So yeah, as you can see, this is a 30 centimeter figure. So a little bit of backstory about this figure is that when they were making the short and they wanted to make a new Gigan suit, they did a Kickstarter. So you could donate money, and there was different tiers according to the Kickstarter. And one of the tiers, I think the main big one, was at least $350, I believe. And you were able to get a X Plus figure of the Gigan's new suit, the representation of the new suit in figure form, honestly. And everybody was clamoring for that tier. But not everybody could do it, but a lot of people wanted to participate and contribute to the Kickstarter. And like I said, there's different levels, different tiers. You could get the movie on DVD, you could get the movie on Blu-ray, you could get it on both. I think they even had replicas or pieces of the scales from the actual suit from the Gigan, like that you see on his belly, that were actually given away as tier prizes for this particular Kickstarter, along with this figure. It ended up where there was a total of 166 people supporting that Kickstarter, where they ended up doing the figures. So there was 166 people that hit that tier, that contributed to that Kickstarter, that wanted the figure. So that's the only way you could get this figure. They did not open it to international buyers, collectors, fans in any way. It was all Japanese citizens. When we found out that they actually hit their mark, was awesome, because over here in the States, we were clamoring and really wanting to contribute and help make this short the best that it could be, and honestly get the prizes that were available. So unfortunately, it wasn't available for us. So some of us, the only way you could get that kind of stuff is the secondary market. Um, and so these guys started hitting the buy aftermarket, and some of them were absolutely nuts, crazy. They're going for like $1,000 at first. It was nuts. Like people were going for this stuff and just throwing money at it, and I was like, no, I ain't gonna do that. I'll wait, but I eventually want one. Well, then a couple people started getting one, and a couple friends actually started getting one. Samson, who was one of them, got to the first one, and then Adrian got the next one. And I was like, man, I really, really need one of these, honestly. So I went hunting and found one for a decent price. It wasn't the $1,000 that these things were going for initially, um, and it wasn't, $200. So there's your range kind of thing. But it wasn't crazy, but it wasn't cheap. Okay, it was about mid, if you kind of can decipher that. But so that's how much I got it for. I was happy to get it. Each one of them came with a special piece of paper that was telling you, hey, this is part of the Kickstarter that happened for that particular short film. And, this is, part of your tier prize. And stuff. So unfortunately, mine did not come with it. Whoever got this in Japan must have kept it, thrown it away, whatever. I didn't get one. Samson actually got one with his figure, and then Adrian also didn't get one. So must have been some collectors or people buying these must have kept them, or they just threw them away and then didn't really care or didn't think that people really wanted it at all. So it is what it is. But so yeah, with all that rambling, let's get right into the figure and see what this guy is all about. As you can see, the box is your typical 30 centimeter box. It has the colorful picture of the figure, nothing around the sides or the back, just your standard 30 centimeter, which I love. It's a colorful, nice picture of it, but that's really about it. So I don't want to go into too much detail about the box because there isn't much to really go over. So yeah, let's get right into the figure and let's see what this bad boy is all about. All right, guys, and here he is. Just a tremendous, tremendous looking figure. They did such a great job. I think this was a 3D scan of the actual suit because it looks suit like so, so good. It just to the littlest detail from the bumps on the claws to the proportions of his legs and his arms, his tail, his belly, I mean, his neck, everything that you saw in that short is in this figure to a T. So I really do love that. I'm so glad that they did that. They've been doing a lot more of those 3D scanning methods to, especially for suits, to really kind of bring out the essence of that suit into figure form. So that's really, really cool. It's a different way of making figures and presenting figures to the best quality that they can be, honestly. So, but this thing is just absolutely crazy. I did like the newer Gigan look. It's not as good as the original. I thought in this new Gigan look, I thought his neck was a little too chunky. His beer belly or his dad bod was a little bit bigger than previously into the original look suit. His arms or his claws are a little bit fatter around where you can see the actor's hands kind of holding the claws, but then right around like the wrist area here, it's very, very thin. So you can kind of tell that he's kind of holding the claws with his hands inside. So I thought that was a little, I thought they could do a little bit better with that. But overall, they did a really, really nice job with recreating the Gigan suit and that Showa look, honestly. And maybe they did want to differentiate it up a little bit to just make it more lifelike, maybe proportions, maybe a little bit more understandable and realistic, in that sense. And maybe he wasn't as skinny or whatnot, or maybe they just couldn't manufacture it that way. Who knows? But the master of suit making himself, Wakasa-san, he was behind this, and testament to his ability and his craft because they did such a great job. Now, if you see in the back, here that the middle fin is a little bent. I think that's just because he's been sitting in a box, and so there was a divider in between these guys. So I think it was just pushing up on it for so long that all it's going to take is a little bit of hair drying to warm it up and kind of mold it into the position that I want, and then just rapidly cool it. And there you go. And it usually sticks. That's the beauty of vinyl, honestly. So, but the detail overall is just absolutely impeccable. Just from the little scales, every single one of those looks like they're moving. They got depth to them. They're sticking out. They're going kind of a different direction. I mean, they look like you can just kind of touch them and move them around, and it's just really, really neat. But I absolutely love it. Everything just looks so great. I mean, even around the neck, the scales just look so good. You come down to his head and his face, looks exactly like the original. Like I said, they just made the neck a little bit wider, bigger. Maybe that was for the suit actor to kind of fit his head up there a little bit more. I'm not really sure why, but still a great looking suit and a great looking figure, honestly, because this thing is just incredible. It really is. I'm so happy that I got one of these, especially how limited they were, or I should say was, and we will get to that in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the paint job is spot on. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is a 3D scan, so everything looks just like the suit. So that's really great. I'm very big on accuracy, screen accuracy. I thrive for that. I'm always looking for the best representation of each kaiju, each character, and that's the one I really want. So, and this is cool because this is the first figure release of that particular Gigan. Like usually it's like Bandai that usually comes out with something first, but not even they have done anything for this particular Gigan version. So getting this first version, this first release of a figure from that particular Gigan version is absolutely awesome. It really is. So I'm glad to have this. And like I said, it was super limited to 166. So knowing that just made it ever so special. And then knowing that two of my friends also had it was really special also indeed. And then I wanted to kind of show this off, that the tip of the tail, see if I can focus it here. If I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of translucent, along with his end of his wings, his little spikes on the ends there. You can actually see through that, and you actually can see the wire sticking up through that. So that's really cool, really neat. Usually they're just painted white. For the most part, even the original X Plus Gigan figure was just painted white. It was just solid, so gives it a little bit a different look, and just it looks really cool. It looks really neat, and I like that little extra kind of design that they did for this figure. And I don't know if it was on the actual suit itself, but it'd be really cool if it was, honestly. So now what I wanted to get to, as what I mentioned a little bit earlier, is that there used to be 166 of these guys. And like I mentioned, that last year, 2024, on Godzilla Day, on the US Godzilla store, they had released or announced that they were reissuing this figure for general release. And I will have to say that I was peed off, honestly, about it. I was really mad because it devalues this figure, but it also it devalues it as how limited and how special it is. Not even just money-wise, for quantity and scarcity, and just kind of how common it is. A lot of X Plus figures are uncommon, especially the Ricks with special features, little extras, and they don't ever re-release those. They will come out with a different release with a different function or a different special attribute with it. They didn't do that with this, which really angers me, honestly, especially as a fan and as a collector. because, and all the people that backed that Kickstarter that thought that this was a very limited figure, that they were going to have one of 166, they don't have that anymore. Now there is a general release where you could pay $350 on the US Godzilla store and you could get your figure just like this. Like I said, that makes me angry. And there's no way they should have done that, because it was supposed to be exclusive to that Kickstarter, and that's what it should have been, exclusive to that only. They never should have done a general release for it. They should have left it alone. I understand they were probably trying to make more money. They were trying to, who knows, what else? I mean, what else you couldn't do besides looking for money? Unfortunately, money is the root of all evil. And that's probably why they did it, because they thought that this is a cash cow and they could release it and people would get it because it wasn't going to be as limited. You could literally, it was a big pre-order window. You could go there, order it, and then you got it within a couple months. Now, people are starting to get this now, and it's in February. So you're talking 3 months, almost 4, by the time you order to the time you got this guy. So if I was the Kickstarter people, I would be really mad. I'm mad because I definitely paid more than $350 for it. So because I didn't know they would ever do this, I thought this was super exclusive and very limited. And the only way to get it was going to be a secondary market from somebody that didn't want it, that backed the Kickstarter originally. So, yeah, they need to make sure, and in the future, that they're going to say it's exclusive for something, that they need to keep it exclusive for something, because people like that and they buy that for that particular reason. If you're a seller, if you're a collector, fan, whatever, you buy that for that particular reason, or you resell it for that particular reason. And that's how it should be. It should stay that way. They should not do, oh yeah, this is exclusive for this, and then several months later to a year later, they're like, oh yeah, we're going to general release this now. That's not okay. I think that sucks for collectors that got it. I understand that, people wanted it and they didn't have a chance to get it. And maybe they need to look at how they do Kickstarters and maybe open it to everybody, even to the fans in the US, because honestly, they could make shorts every single year with no problem, or even do new suits every single year with no issue with money wise, because fans would be throwing money at these things and knowing that they contributed to making that short or that particular suit. It's a memory, that they're making, and then they know they contributed to the franchise in some way, as small as it could be. They did something, and they're like, hey, I helped do that. It's a great pat on the back. It's a personal win for everybody as a fan, and just knowing that you helped make a Godzilla movie or short is very, very special. So I think they really need to reconsider how they do that kind of stuff. So yeah, just my little rant here, but overall, this figure is amazing. Seeing, like I said, Samson and Adrian get this was definitely the nail in a coffin for me to get it. And I scoured, and luckily Adrian gave me a link and I was able to get them. Like I said, for a not a decent price, but not over $1,000. So, but yeah, still happy to get them. Hopefully everybody else that gets them, is happy. I will be curious on what the difference is going to be between the Kickstarter one and the general release one. If they manufacture a little bit different, if they put something on the box that says something, I don't really know. There was nothing special on the box that would say that this is from the Kickstarter, unless you get that piece of paper, which unfortunately I don't have. But I got this way, way before the US Godzilla store put these up for pre-order. So I know this is the legit one from the Kickstarter. So I guess I can live with that saying and knowing that this is from the Kickstarter, and it's one of the original 166 that were made and backed by Japanese fans. So, but yeah, other than that, it's a great figure. Score wise, from the sculpt to the paint to the overall look, I'm going to give this a 8.75 out of 10. It's a great looking figure, Very impressive. Like I said, 3D rendering, scanning down to the little detail is just could be a game changer, honestly. So, really happy with this figure. Happy to have it in collection. And Samson, now it is out of the box. It's going on the shelf, and it's not sitting in its box anymore. He is free. He is roaming around, terrorizing everything he sees and touches. So, be happy with that. But it is a long overdue box day. So. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys for watching. Please remember, like, comment, subscribe. At 1,000 subscribers, I'm doing my next giveaway. I'm giving away an X Plus Cybot Rick edition along with some Ichiban Kuji canvas prints. And then a friend of the channel, Sergio Trejo, has graciously donated some effects for Monster Earths or Haya figures, and go check out his Facebook page. I'll leave a link in the comments of this video to go check him out. And if you guys are Articulated fans, check out his page. Maybe he can work something with you, do some kind of effect that you want that you haven't gotten for your Articulated figures. So thank you for that, Sergio. But yeah, other than that, like, comment, subscribe, share. Check me out on MWA if you want more Godzilla and Kaiju Tokusatsu Sentai news. We're always doing stuff over there. But if you want more reviews from the Bearded Kaiju, follow here, subscribe here, share it, and let's get to 1,000 so I can do my next giveaway. So other than that, thank you guys, and until next time, later.